Hello and welcome. This is Tiny Dragon Tarot, and this is gonna be a pick a card reading to see what you need to know right now. I already shuffled and pulled some cards. I have tarot, I have oracle, so I'm quite excited to see what's coming out. You have 3 groups to choose from. All the timestamps are going to be in the description down below, so you can choose if you want to based on the number, pile number 1, 2, and 3, or crystals. I don't necessarily know the crystals. This is quartz crystal, I know. 2 really cute piece. For pile number 2, we have this beautiful green crystal, which I'm gonna say fluorite, but you know, that's just a guess. But I love the shape. And for pile number 3, we have this. This is a jasper. I know that one. And that's also so beautiful. So yeah, you can choose based on the crystal, based on the number, or you know, just use your intuition. I don't think you need to overthink it. Just pick the one that first grabbed your attention, and if you don't resonate with the message, you can, you know, come back and choose another one. But yeah, let's go and start with pile number 1. Okay, hello pile number 1. If you choose these 2 crystals or the number 1, then this is gonna be your pile. Let's see what the main message is. So I have a few cards. I want to start from the bottom with the 3 tarot cards. We have 8 of Pentacles. Oh, another one, 8 of Wands. A lot of moving and perfecting energy, and a 5 of Swords. Okay. So this could talk about being overwhelmed with work currently, or something that you're working on for a long time, because the 8 of Pentacles is that card that talks about perfecting something that you worked on for a long time. So it's not starting a new project. It's not getting overwhelmed with the newness of something. It's about doing something for a long while, you know, putting a lot of energy into it, and then maybe getting a bit of frustration because it's not happening. You know, the completion is not yet here. And I'm saying that because we have the 8 of Wands, which usually is movement, but it can feel overwhelming when a lot of energies are coming at you at the same time, and you just don't have the capacity to deal with them. And I'm saying, you know, it could mean that, you know, you're gonna quickly start moving out from this 8 of Pentacles stage into the 9 of Pentacles, when you're, you know, finding independence and completing what you're working on. But because we have the 5 of Swords as well here, I kind of feel like it's talking about more of the, especially because there's a keyword on this card, defeat. So it's more about you're overworking yourself. You're trying to do too much all at once, and that's gonna lead for you to maybe cut some corners, you know, maybe do something that you're not proud of if you're not paying attention. But this card also could just talk about you need to act a bit. Right now you need to be a bit more selfish, because for me the 5 of Swords is being selfish. But you know, usually that's a negative thing. But when you're overworking yourself, when you're, you know, reaching your limit, that just reminds you to actually take time for yourself. To, I'm not saying, you know, stop everything you were working so hard for, but maybe imply and implement some breaks into the cycle. So when things are, you know, moving, you're not just moving along with them, but you're actually directing all these energies into the right direction. Okay, let's continue. We have 2 oracles. Oh yeah, solution. Let's see if I can put them on screen. And also turning. All the decks are going to be listed down below, by the way, if you're interested. So solution and turning together is quite fitting for this one, because the solution card comes up when you're finding a solution, or yeah, you're finding a solution for something that you were looking for. And with these two cards, it talks about the finish line is here. It's very, very close. So don't give up, and don't, because with the turning, I would say that it's a warning, sort of, it's a reminder to don't cut corners, don't turn into someone you're not proud of, because if you do that, then when you reach the finish line, when you complete and finish this project that you're working on so hard, and it can be a workplace situation, your work in general, can be a passion project, it can be even a relationship that you're working hard on to make it successful, because relationships need work, they need devotion, they need work. And this is a reminder to not do anything too selfish, not cut too much corners, because then you're going to turn into something in this deck, a zombie, that you're not necessarily proud of, or you want to. So what's the point of doing all this work that you put in the Eight of Pentacles if in the end you're not going to be able to look back and be proud of yourself? So yeah, that's the base first part of the message. And let's look at the other cards, because we have more. Okay, and then, oh, I like that. We have the Magician. Oh, great. We have abundance with the Magician. It's just beautiful. We also have tranquility, harmonious in action, and burning with passion. These two StarDragons Oracles. And the Angel of Ruin, if you want to read a little poem. And it just, resonates with everything that I said. I was wrong. I opened the gate to what it shouldn't contain. We can still mend this. So this is just a tiny reminder from the Tiny Dragon Tarot that if you did something already, it's not too late. You can just, fix things and go back to the honest and hardworking ways of yours, because from the first part of the message, it's quite obvious that you're a very hardworking person, and whatever you're working on, it's important for you. And what's coming, it's pretty much, abundance with the Magician. It's a wonderful combination, because the Magician is someone who can create whatever they desire from what they have around them. They don't invent and pull things out of thin air. They use what they have at their disposal and create something magical and something wonderful, and usually something new. And the magician usually have everything they need. They have the money, they have the time, they have the idea. Especially with burning with passion, it talks about a very strong, passionate motivation for this. So I would say it can be more of the passion project and a relationship thing. We have here harmonious in action. Okay. And it's very interesting, because the Magician is a very active card. Burning with passion, it talks about, the fiery energy that you want to channel, you want to use. But we also have the harmonious in action. So it talks about knowing when you're not supposed to push forward. And that actually ties back to the Eight of Pentacles, which is here. Because the Eight of Pentacles is about, perfecting something, working on them. And when you're perfecting something, you're usually not doing a lot of big changes. But, like when it's kind of like when you're baking a cake and you're already at the decoration stage. and you had the basic color, you had the basic frosting, and you are now just putting on the tiny little sugar beads or whatever to make it perfect. But you have to know how not to overdo those decorations as well, because if you do that you might ruin the whole thing. If you try to do it way too long, because in perfecting something there's always a chance to overdo it. So with these two things you have to find a balance between actually knowing when to stop with this project and let it go and let it out into the world, and just hope and trust that what you created is beautiful and it's perfect in its own way and it's ready enough to go out. That stopping, but also with the burning with passion is pushing through those stagnant stages when you feel like you're ready to give up. You don't want to do this because it's been so long and you're waiting for so long and it's not happening. But abundance is coming. It's here with the solution. You're much closer to reaching your goal than you're even knowing. You might have the feeling that you're reaching the solution, the abundance, the goal, but for some reason you're losing confidence sometimes. You're starting to doubt yourself, and that can be the angel of ruin as well. Not just not cutting corners, which was a very strong message, but you can ruin this you're the only one who can ruin this for yourself if you lose confidence in what you're doing. Because if you're not completely and utterly in love with the project you're working on, then why do you expect others to feel the same way? If you feel there are faults in it, then go back, perfect them, change whatever you feel it's not working exactly how you think or how you want it to work. It's not about measuring whatever this is against what other people did. It's about measuring it against the ideal that you have in your head and heart, and accepting the fact that it's never gonna be that ideal, because ideal has the tendency to not exist for a reason. But you can find a balance between that ideal and what you created and be happy with it. And that's really big part of the message as well. And it can be a very frustrated part of being in the Eight of Pentacles stage of whatever we're working on. But yeah, this was your message. I hope this is useful. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and comment down below, because those are all helping my channel. If you want to, please leave a topic suggestion for a picker card reading. There's ways to support my channel. If you want to get my oracle cards, the second one is coming out soon as well. And yeah, just hopefully this was useful, and I'm gonna see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose this crystal or just the number 2, then this is going to be your reading. So let's see, what do you have to know at this very moment. Let's start with the 3 tarot cards. We have the Queen of Cups. Such a beautiful deck. Oh, the Ace of Swords, I like that. And the Knight of Wands. Okay, so we have some sort of a resolution coming with the Ace of Swords, and then moving from that, clarity with the Knight of Wands, which I really like. So the Queen of Cups is someone who's who already knows how to not be mean to others and mean to themselves as well. It's someone who, it doesn't, it's not gender specific, it's just the energy. It's a more passive in a good way. It's a more nurturing, more understanding state of being, when you can be understanding with yourself and with others as well. And if you don't feel like you can do that yet, then this Ace of Swords is going to talk about reaching that state soon. But I have a feeling that you are already in this stage. You worked a lot of you worked hard on yourself and how to handle your emotions, how to love yourself, how to be better understanding with yourself. And I'm not saying that you already perfected this area, but if you haven't started working on anything related to that, then this might not be your pile, because I feel more that you already reached this emotionally more fulfilling place, but it kind of feels like you feel that you're getting stagnant with the energy because you worked hard on being understanding and being loving and nurturing, but you don't know how to move forward from that because you want to use and incorporate all the knowledge that you had and you gained in the past I'm not gonna say months or years, but a longer time in the past period that you spent with this inner work, and you want to move out from it and you want to use it. And that's why the Ace of Swords is here, because you're gonna get that answer, you're gonna get that aha, that whoa, wow, I know what I'm supposed to do now moment soon. And when you have that, you realize how you can incorporate whatever you learn from the time that you spent with introspection. You're gonna be able to move forward with the passion of a Knight of Wands, and this this knight is, as you can see, there's a lot of fire around them. So you might, start and do all these start executing all these new ideas that you will get. And sometimes you will mess up, because this is just the knight, it's not the king. So you're not going to jump into immediately that stage where you perfected this stage as well. Obviously, that's not how life works, and I think that just makes sense, and it's not a bad thing. But also you have a very passionate forward moving knight, even though this one on the picture looks left. But with the Knight of Wands, I always feel like they move forward into the future. So you're gonna move forward, you're gonna start executing these new ideas, new plans. You might have a lot of creative ideas because of this stage, especially because water is connected to creativity, fire is connected to creativity, a different side of it. But it's both, it's a passion, it's creativity, and that's something that moves you forward. So it's a very exciting thing that you are gonna come. And your oracle for this stage is the bite mark, and the bite mark. Okay, I'm gonna just move a bit because there's only one card. So the bite mark talks about getting injured and overreacting it. So I feel like this connects to the Knight of Wands, because it just reminds you that when you're gonna make a mistake, and that's kind of inevitable, don't take it too seriously. Don't overreact, because when you're in a battle, in this case with zombies, and you get bitten, you immediately think that there's an injury, you immediately think that, oh my god, I'm gonna turn into a zombie, everything is over, I messed up, I life is over. But this card talks about taking a time and assessing what actually happened, and to see if you actually are going to turn into something that you don't want to. Are you at a stage, or did you make such a mistake that you're gonna lose everything? And usually with this card, the answer is no. So I think it's just a nice reminder that even though you're gonna make mistakes, when you start moving from this more passive and introspective state out of a more active and more outgoing and more forward pushing. I feel a lot of forward movement in this reading. Don't lose your confidence pretty much when you make a mistake, because it's just a mistake. You're going to learn from it and you're going to continue, because you already have those tools how to deal with not getting too scared or too worried when you make a mistake. So this is just a reminder, this card, to don't let all the lessons that you learn to disappear just because you're in a different stage of your life. Okay, let's continue with the second part. Let's see what's coming. It's quite exciting, to be honest. And we have the King of Swords. Nice. Oh, we have change, not surprising. We have Transcendence, achieving success, perfect. And we have the Emanation of Kingdom. The House of Man, from these rocks and twigs, cloaked and hunting, a vessel through which we found ourselves. And this, I think this just ties in with the King of Swords, that you're coming from a queen state, which is already a high state. Just that's the more, like I said, introspective, more looking inwards, more passive energy, not in a bad way. I don't think that these things are, bad. They all have their places in our lives. And this is, not gender specific. It's just the type of energy, and it's easier to explain it like this because most people have an idea when I say it's a feminine or a masculine energy, what I mean by it. But the main focus, the main card for this part is the change that's coming. But that change is gonna be definitely a positive one, because we have achieving success on the right side of it, which is amazing. And if you look at it, it's kind of this figure coming out from the dragon is pretty much mirroring this one, which elevates and holds up this new planet or whatever existing here. And the King of Swords is someone, who plans, who has a strategy, who knows how to achieve what they want. So this change that you're going through is not going to be a one that throws you off balance. It's not going to be something that will surprise you. It's going to be something that you can foresee. And I have a feeling you're going to choose this change, because after experiencing everything with the Knight of Wands stage, that you start making movements forward, you make a few wrong turns, because that happens. You finally start to see the path you want to go down on. And that's when you reach this King of Swords stage, when you realize that, oh, okay, now I know where I want to go. Now I know how to go there. What do I have to do? And I'm going to choose and start working on whatever, this is all about. It kind of feels like, a big thing, a life path, work, your passion, your true self, all those big things. I kind of feel like it's a very important, it's not something small like, oh, should I go and buy something? But if you don't believe in those, because you don't have to just use tarot, it can be, a situation where you, for example, buy a house. At first, you're, contemplating buying one, and then you realize what you want from that place. You start looking for houses, and you realize, oh, that's not good. Or maybe you found a bad or not so good real estate agent at first, and then you find the right one. And when you reach that stage, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm picking that house. We're gonna move. I'm gonna move in within 6 months. I'm gonna need that much money. I'm gonna need a new job if you're moving that far away from home. I'm gonna need this and this and this, but I have that and that, and you're gonna put all and everything together and move forward and find your perfect home. So that can be just a very basic level of explanation for these cards, but like I said, for me it feels much more, it feels about your true self trying to find a way forward. And at this stage of the reading, it just shows that you're gonna reach that point where it's the same with the house. You're gonna know what you want in life, what you want to be in life, how to be that, what you need to do to start moving towards that, and you're gonna start putting those steps one after another, and you're gonna start making progress. And the change is going to, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy or, you know, smooth completely, but it's gonna be something that's more under your control than usually, which is a very positive thing in my opinion, because when you see what's going on, you can, you know, be prepared to deal with difficulties that might come up, because you looked at every avenue and you can, you know, more or less predict the problems that might come up. So yes, but you know, remember, success is on the other side of this change. So just keep your head down, work hard on whatever you're working on, and trust yourself that you're gonna reach this, you know, this kingdom, this achieving success stage. But yeah, this is your message. I hope this is useful. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Those all help my channel. If you want to, please leave a suggestion for a pick a card reading. I have a lot of ideas, but you know, I'm always open to do something that others want. There's gonna be all the information about the decks as well in the description. And yeah, hopefully see you soon. Thanks so much for watching, and bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the number 3 or this Jasper, then this is your reading. First, we're gonna start with the 3 tarot cards and 1 oracle to see what the main message is. So we have 4 of Wands, nice. Oh, okay, 10 of Cups, so, and an Ace of Cups. Okay, this is definitely the relationship message in this reading. Let's see, we have fear. Okay, that's the main oracle for this part. But wow, whatever, I mean, on a basic level, we're talking about if you are just looking at the cards, I'm talking about a marriage, you know, finding everything you wished for in a relationship, and maybe even getting pregnant. So if this doesn't resonate at all, there could be a creative aspect of this reading, but for me this is just a plain and simple relationship reading. So if this doesn't resonate, then I suggest go back and pick another pile, because this can't really be interpreted, in my opinion, differently. Yeah, so, but if you're in a, you know, if you're, it could be 2 things, you know, you're already in this stage, you're already, because we're starting with the marriage, so we're not starting with looking for love. It feels more like about someone who's in a relationship and in a committed, serious one, or someone who has all these things on their mind, and the only thing that's keeping them away from it for actually happening is fear. So I'm gonna first talk about the one where you're already in a relationship, and then, you know, about the other one. So if you're in a relationship, in a committed, serious one, what's coming is quite, you know, like I said, quite simple. You found the person you want to spend your life with. You have everything you want together, whatever and however you imagine a perfect life, a perfect relationship. I mean, on this card, it means a marriage and means kids, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to get married to be happy. You don't have to be in a monogamous relationship to be happy. It's just whatever a happy relationship is for you, it's in the, you know, just imagine that that's the card for you here. And the 4 of Wands also, it doesn't have to be a marriage. It's just about celebrating a commitment towards someone else, you know, being serious about your commitment. It doesn't require papers. For some it does, for some it absolutely doesn't. But it's that stage of a relationship when both of you on the same page, and you know that you want to spend the rest of your life together, pretty much. And I love that we have the Ten of Cups, because it means that you know it's a very nice and loving relationship. And with the Ace of Cups, it can be two things. Like I said, it can be a pregnancy, but if you don't want to get children, or you're not at that stage, or too young, for example, or too old, or just not everybody can or want to have children, it can just signify that it's gonna start a new stage and phase of the relationship. Because even though the best thing is to nothing to change after you commit to someone else, so if you move in, or if you get married, I mean, on a basic level, I think moving in is needed for a relationship to be more serious. And that's just my idea about a relationship. So if it's not, don't feel offended. It's just that's how I can explain what I mean. But I understand, relationships work completely differently for other people. So this is not a judgment or a black and white statement. It's just that when things are changing and you're changing it together, it usually creates something new, a new state, a new stage of that relationship. But it's an opportunity to experience something on a higher level, if you're not talking about children. And the fear card is pretty much the same as with if you're single and you want all these things. Because if you're single and you want all these things, your self-doubt, your fear that you're missing out on it and you're never going to find it, is the only thing that's keeping you away from it. And if you already have this, your fear that it's not going to last, that it's not as perfect or not as good. Perfect is not the right word, I don't like it here, but it's not as fulfilling, not as satisfying, not as safe or happy as you think it, or as it is. You think it's not like that. That's the only thing that can ruin this whole thing. It's pretty much self-sabotage in this aspect, which is not, I'm not gonna, make it insignificant, because we're, as human beings, are very, very good at self-sabotaging. I'm not an exception of it. But if you know that your fears are not valid, it's just about your past relationship trauma, or even if you've never been in a relationship, your ideal of how your life's were supposed to go, and it didn't. All those fears can come back and try to sabotage you from reaching this stage, which is a lovely and fulfilling and safe and wonderful state to be in. I mean, I wish I would pull cards like this for myself. But yeah, I like that it's not as serious as you might, expect it. So that's the basic message, which is lovely. But let's see what the upcoming time is messaging for you. Oh, we have another ace with the coins. I love that. Ace of coins. And pleasure. Always good when we are talking about relationships. Okay, we have 2 dragons. Finding your limits, resilience, and knowledge. Oh, these cards are quite big. Okay, I'm gonna move this here. And because we also have the Angel of Silence. When words fail, Shatiel, descends. The wind dies and the earth comes to a rest. In stillness, a new aspect emerges. The touch of an elusive angel. Space around it gains new meaning, held motionless by the grip of its presence. Fear not, it rarely lingers. Interesting. Space around it gains new meaning, held motionless by the grip of its presence. So it's pretty much experiencing something that will, like fear, make you stop and unable to move. But I love the Ace of Coins here, because the Ace of Coins or Ace of Pentacles is also a new beginning. You have two new beginnings, so that's wonderful. And this one, the Ace of Cups is about, a new emotional beginning, a new, like I said, I think I said it, a new stage in a relationship if you're already in one. If not, you're finding that new relationship or, pregnancy. But the Ace of Coins is something that has the potential to turn into something long-term. So this definitely resonates with the Ten of Cups. Finding that person's, finding your happy place and happiness with them. And we have pleasure as well. And the pleasure card is not just about physical pleasure and enjoying yourself, but it's actually a reminder to enjoy yourself, because fear might get in the way of enjoying what you have, enjoying all these opportunities, because you think that it can be, you can't receive all these blessings, you can't receive all these wonderful opportunities, or meeting this person, and you self-sabotage, you're like, oh, it's too good to be true, so it's not. But in this case, it is actually, it's good and it's true because you deserve it. And like I said, only you're the one who can sabotage it, which is it's annoying. But at the same time, just think about it. It's so much easier to work on yourself, because you can actually change things in you, change how you look at things, than working on an outer external factor. So with the dragons, we have finding your limits and knowledge. Gaining knowledge through realizing that, with resilience, that you're actually more stronger, you're more capable of maybe letting yourself to be loved than you previously thought. Because, like I said, self-sabotage and not feeling worthy of love can be a big factor in this reading. That can be an issue that you need to work on. But when you're going through these, and you're actually start working on them, and these fears, whatever you're worried about. I just pulled a few examples, but it can be something completely different and much more rooted in past experiences. When you start working on them, you realize that you were not a victim. You are someone who came out of those experiences stronger, and with that knowledge, you can actually start moving forward and accepting all the good things that are trying to come into your life. And I think that the angel of silence, that crippling moment when you're unable to move, is going to come from that realization, when you finally realize that, okay, I am here, I am deserving of this, and this is happening because I deserve it. And that can be a very big life-changing moment when you reach that stage. Because it's easy to say that, oh, of course I know, and I'm looking for a relationship, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be loved. But that's a completely different sentiment of, I know I'm deserving someone who respects me, who loves me, who supports me in a way that I need. Because the problem in a lot of relationships is people just don't know how to love and support the other person. It doesn't mean they don't love and support or want to support the other person. It's just that their love language or their communications is different, and they don't know that it's different. They are doing their things, and it's not meeting, it's just clashing, it's not connecting. But if you have those conversations, if you realize that, hey, I love when you do this, but I don't like when you do that. And then the other person is like, oh, okay, I did both of them out of love and out of showing you how much I care. But if one way is not resonating with you, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to do the first one. And if you have something else, let me know. And I can use that as well to show you how much I care and support you. And those conversations in our relationships are very important. And for some reason, we're not taught as on a societal level how to be in relationships, not just romantic, but in everyday familial and friendships. We just don't know how to do these conversations, and even though these are very, very needed conversations. So communication as well, it's something that you need to work on with your current partner, or if you're single, you need to work on communicating with yourself more honestly, and enjoy life, because life really wants to give you a lot of things. And you can absolutely come out of it and be this freaking dragon and be this powerful, because you are resilient. You are this dragon. You just have to realize that you are this one. There's a lot of blue as well in this reading. Besides the green, there's also blue here, blue here, blue here, blue here. So for some reason, I didn't feel like wasn't picking up all colors in the other two, but for this one, blue, throat chakra, just wearing blue, working with blue can be useful for you or meaningful. But yeah, this is your reading. Hopefully this was useful. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, because those are all helping my channel. If you want to leave a topic suggestion for a pick a card reading, can be anything, relationship, whatever, whatever comes to mind. I'm happy to add that to my list. And hopefully you stick around and see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely day. Bye.